Grabando en 3, 2, 1.
Saludos mi gente, estamos de vuelta aquí en Pressure Drop, las entrevistas con Docta, Rythm, Selecta, gracias a Digari Spot que nos hace este lugar increíble para que ustedes puedan disfrutar de esta entrevista el día de hoy, así como GoCamera que está encargado de todo lo que es el microfoneo, las cámaras y demás, ahí los pueden buscar. Pero de verdad vamos a entrar en materia una vez porque hoy les tengo un invitado súper especial, un veterano de la escena danzal, roots, rocksteady, ska. El hombre se monta en lo que sea, ya lo vieron por ahí en algunos clubes, anda por acá vacacionando y aprovechamos para presentárselos a ustedes. A los que lo conocen, pues puedan conocer un poquito más de él, y a los que no, pues sepan que este es el veteranazo de los veteranazos, padre de todo lo que se mueve danzal, ragamuffin allá en Gran Bretaña, en Inglaterra, en UK, como lo quieran ver. Así que hoy tenemos a Tippa Irie. Tippa Irie,
Yes,
respect, man.
Respect, sir.
Welcome.
Blessing. Nice to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's wonderful to be in Costa Rica, man. It's my first time, and the people them have been very receptive and very nice. So it's a blessing to be here. Thank you.
Nice. It's a blessing for us to have a veteran like you visiting us for vacations only, but you spend some time on the clubs and you spend some time singing and letting everybody know who are you, because people need to know here in Costa Rica about the foundation, not only in 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
and 2000.
Till 2024, and he is still here, so that's a really good thing. But Tippa, you want to introduce yourself a little bit for a Costa Rican reggae massive, so they can know you, and then we start with the history.
Okay, well, my name is Tippa Irie, the original ragamuffin dancehall MC from Saxon Sound System from back in the day. Saxon Sound launched the career of people like Maxi Priest, Papa Levi, Smiley Culture, Asha Senator, Daddy Rusty, Sandy, Colonel, my sister Miss Irie, singers like Roger Robin and Neville Morrison. So that is us, reggae, dancehall, MCs, and that's what I am, a reggae dancehall MC. But we're versatile, we have enough style, you know what I mean? But mainly, I'm a dancehall MC, inspired by U-Roy, Big Youth, Trinity, Tapazuki, Dennis Al Capone, and then further down the line is Charlie Chaplin, Josie Wales, Brigadier Jerry, and then from them Monday is Papa Sam, Lieutenant Stitchy, Professor Nuts. Those are all of my favorite MCs. But yeah, dancehall MC. As I'm gonna tell you about the sound of the way it come down the way. Reggae music got to play along the way. Costa Rica, Daddy Tippa, blessed.
Yes, man, ese es Tippa Irie, ya lo conocen por ahí. Vamos a entrar en story. So let's start with the history. I'm gonna give you a year and a song name.
Yes.
And you can tell me what it feels to you that 1986 Hello Darling.
Wow. Yeah, Hello Darling was something that was unique, was original, and that style had never been done before. Basically it came out and it went to #1 straight into the reggae charts. And then there was a guy called Kid Jensen that used to work on Capitulo Radio in England, and he heard the tune in a club and he said, this tune is a hit. So he took the tune and presented it to the production people at Capitol, and they put it on the playlist, and then it went straight into the pop charts. It got to #22 in the national charts, and then I got to do Top of the Pops, and the tune was just a huge tune in the Caribbean, in Europe, basically all around the world. In most countries, there's a few countries, it didn't cross over into America, but it was just huge in the Caribbean and huge in Europe and #1 in the reggae charts in England. So that tune changed my life, you know what I mean? From just being a local dancehall MC in the UK to mainstream. And that tune took me to the mainstream. So I will be forever grateful for that tune, because it made me like a household name in the community, because at that time, there wasn't many black people on the TV. So when that tune came out and I was on Top of the Pops, it was like a big occasion, because there wasn't a lot of us that made it to that level. So Hello Darling is a very special tune, you know, very original. There's nothing like that tune. There was nothing made like it at the time and since then. So,
nice.
Come on, blessing.
Yes, Hello Darling, claro que sí. So, another word and another year.
Yes.
Dulwich 1965.
June 1965. That's when I was born. You know, I was born in South London at Dulwich Hospital. My mum, my dad, they're from Trelawney in Jamaica. They left Jamaica and come to the UK, and they had me and my 2 sisters in South London. And that's where I grew up, you know. My parents, them were greengrocers. My dad was a farmer in Jamaica. So he used to plant yam and grow yam and take yam to Ochi and sell in the market. And when he came to the UK, he became a greengrocer, shopkeeper. So he used to have a shop, and me and my 2 sisters and my mom, we used to live on top of the shop. And then in the basement of the building, there was 2 rooms. And in those 2 rooms, that's where my dad used to set up his sound. So one room is the sound, domino, cards, ludi, food, drink. Next room, speaker box, people dancing. Shubin, we used to call it. Blues dance, every Friday and Saturday. So I kind of grew up in that environment. And in the 2 rooms, my dad used to rent the 2 rooms to bands. So I used to watch guys rehearsing in the 2 rooms. So every weekend, dance. In the week, bands rehearsing.
Around music.
So I was just 100% around music all the time. And so it was a natural thing. My dad used to play U-Roy and people like that, the foundation artists them. So I used to just be in the mirror, in the bathroom with my comb, because them days we had Afro, you know what I mean? And just be singing and wanting to be like U-Roy, Charlie Chaplin and these guys. And that's what I did. And then before you know it, you start to develop your own style and have your own identity. And we never used to write lyrics those days, you know? We just used to make them up in our head. And then after a while, as you get older, we start put the pen to paper.
Sure.
And then it start to take off.
Sure. I got here that that sound system from your father was the Musical Messiah.
Yes.
That was the name, right?
Yeah.
So that was the same in Jamaica and on the UK, so bring it to the UK?
Yeah. He brought his little equipment. Obviously, he didn't bring that much from Jamaica, you know, but he picked up stuff when he came over to the UK. So he just had that little name, you know, and because he didn't really play out in other venues. It was mainly just at his place, you know what I mean? And so that was like his little personal sound system.
And I saw that it wasn't easy for you at the beginning because you were too young, and your father told you, go to your book.
Well,
But at 15, 16, you start going to...
but my dad left and he went to Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So when I was about 15, my dad, he fed up of England. He wanted to go back to the country, you know what I mean? So he left England, went back to Jamaica. But my mum wanted me and my sisters to stay in the UK because there was more opportunity.
Sure.
So we could have all probably went back to Jamaica. But my mum said, you know what, you go, I will stay with the kids because there's more opportunity for them here than in Jamaica. So that's what she did.
Nice, nice. And what about the Lloyd dances? Those were the first ones you were, right?
Which one?
I got
Sir Lloyd.
Sir Lloyd.
Sir Lloyd, yes, yeah. That guy, he used to keep similar dances to my dad.
Okay.
But he used to move around to different venues. And his sound was, we used to call it like the girls' sound. Because there was a lot of women that used to follow that sound. So wherever the women are, you know, that's where the men are. So I used to go to that dance just to dance with the women. And then from there, you know, I used to go on the mic and mash up the mic, the dance. And then he kind of saw my talent. And he was the first producer that put me on record.
Nice. And what about younger frontline?
Yeah,
Tell
well,
me
that
a story. I think that's a good one.
Well, that was kind of like Frontline. There was a sound in Brixton called Frontline, and it was one of the bigger sounds. You had sounds like Nasty Rockers, Itchus, Small Axe, King Tubby's was like the probably the biggest sound in Brixton. But you also had Frontline. So because me and my school friends, we admired Frontline sound, we wanted to call ourselves Younger Frontline, as the younger kids, younger kids if you like. So basically that's all it was. We just named ourselves Younger Frontline as the kids to Frontline sound.
That's a good story for the people that's starting in music, because if you have like decide to be in music, since if you are young, it doesn't matter if you're young, if you're on the 20s or 30s, if you have your side on music, you will get it.
It's not, you know, everybody has to learn from somebody. You know what I mean? It's just like I listen to you, Roy, you know what I mean, and Big Youth and Trinity Dillinger, Dennis Al Capone, and then obviously I listen to Charlie Chaplin, Josie Wells, Brigadier Jerry, you know, people like that. You know, I learn from them, and then I pick the best bits from each of them. You know, it's just like watching. That's why I like to go to shows. You know, you're never too old to learn. So for me, I will still go. I go, even if I'm in Jamaica, sometimes I don't even bother the promoter to let them know that I'm there. I would just buy my ticket and just go and just watch, whether it be Buju or whoever, just to see, and just, you know, because you always can pick something up that's gonna help you in your show, you know what I mean? And that's what we do. You just take little things, but you still keep your own originality. And, you know, it's like even that show, the tunes them that I did at Roots, maybe I would have done the first one, but the other two that I did was Hey Mama is a tune that I done with the Black Eyed Peas, and a jungle tune. But if I had come to the session and see the vibes, the last two tunes, I probably wouldn't have done those tunes. I would have done tunes that were more suited.
Sure. Even
Even though the people they probably still appreciate what I did, but me as a performer, I would have probably done a Stick to My Roots or Rebel on the Roots corner or something more, you know, appropriate. I would think it's more appropriate.
And talking about style, what happened in your head when you realized that in Jamaica they were trying to do your style? Because you were in UK and it's not easy. We're here in Costa Rica and it's not easy for an artist saying that in Jamaica they're trying to do my things. But
it makes you proud.
Exactly.
You know, you know what I mean? It makes you proud that when you see Yellow Man saying it's good to have the feeling you're the best, yes, you know, that's the king.
Yeah, man.
So when the king, you know, is chatting your lyrics, it's a blessing, you know what I mean? And then he chat Levi's lyrics, chat me fear, you know what I mean? And then Pincher's mass me a mass out, I'm gonna check some me a pass out, hello honey, hello good looking, hello. So I'm standing up and I'm seeing Pincher sing my style. So for me, it just makes me proud, you know. And then you have Peter Metro, Tonto Metro, you know. If you listen, even Dancehall Thursday in Jamaica the other day, him and Tonto Metro is there. They say, "Oh, thank you, Tippa." You know what I mean? Because they chat Tippa Irie and the girl just as me. You see, Tippa Irie and the girl just as me. And they, you know, and then they will say Peter Metro and the Tonto, whatever. So it's nice for us because in those days it was cassettes. So the cassettes, we record the sessions on cassette, and then the cassettes will go to Jamaica. The cassettes will go to New York, and Peter Metro and Tonto Metro and all these guys, they hear our lyrics on the cassettes, and then they're chatting them, you know, they build lyrics off of what we're doing. So for me, it's just a proud thing because back then, everybody in the 80s, they was looking to Jamaica. And when Saxon sound came along, we changed things around. Jamaica MCs started to look at what was happening in England, which had never been done before. You know what I'm saying? So things that we were saying like Lickwood, you'd hear Johnny Osborne and Junior Reid, you know what I mean, chatting in our style, you know what I'm saying? So it made me proud, man. That's all you know, it's like, it's a proud feeling to know that what we're doing and the work that we're doing, people, you know, it touched the place where the music was created. You know what I'm saying? So for me to be able to go to Jamaica and perform, because it's probably the hardest crowd in the world to please, because that is the home of the music, and a lot of the people them are oppressed people, they're poor people. So for you to go there and touch them, it's not easy because they're going through a lot on everyday life, and then be like, well, who these foreigners coming and come, because it's like that.
Come and mash up and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's like that, you know, because I'm from the UK, you know what I mean? I was born in London, you know what I mean? My parents are from Jamaica, yeah? I was born in London. When you're in England, it can be very racist because you're not white, you know what I mean? And then when you go to Jamaica as a British man, you're still British.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we kind of like in the middle, you know what I mean? So in Jamaica, they're gonna look after their own. They ain't gonna look after us. They're gonna look after their own, you know? And in the UK, you know, the people them that have the power there, they're gonna also look after their own. So it's been very difficult for artists like myself to, you know, that's why it's probably even more amazing that I've had the career that I've had and been, you know, able to survive just off of music, because it's not been easy for UK artists.
And then New Yorkers.
Yes.
Not only in Jamaica, you influence rappers in New York. That is not easy. I know it's not easy in Jamaica, but New York, it's United States is like the mainstream and everything.
Yeah, man. But you know, the other day I saw an interview with Busta Rhymes. You know what I mean? And he said, you know, that Tippa Irie is one of the people them that influenced him. You know, when we met KRS-One, people like that, they, you know, they're from the same time, same era. You know what I mean? And KRS-One, when they talk about the top MCs, they always talk about Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls and whatever, but they don't mention Chris. You know what I mean? And to me, KRS-One is probably my favorite rapper and probably the best rapper. You know what I mean? You know, and Busta Rhymes, for his energy, you know, is somebody that I really admire, you know. And we influence a lot of those guys back in the days from Saxon. We inspired a lot of them. And so, you know, the respect is there, you know, and all of the younger artists, them that are doing well, you know, we set the way for them. You know what I'm saying? So respect is due.
Yeah, and I think that's good because it's not easy to get that respect. And even if they know they should respect you, some guys don't do it.
They don't
right?
do that. Yeah,
and
they don't acknowledge. That's why for me, you have to acknowledge. When I do my interviews, you have to let the people them know where it come from and who, you know, was the originator. You know, you have there's a brother called Peter King, you know, and he was, for us, he was the fast style originator. He was the first one that done me neat, me sweet, me know for do it. Because remember, it was more just laid back, you know. As I'm gonna tell you about the sound, the lead, the way you come down on me. You know, say me something. It was kind of like that. You know what I mean? Coming from the foundation, and then Peter went, me neat, me sweet, me know for do it, me coat me ear, me brush me teeth. You know what I mean? And then Tippa Irie at the time, the lyric around me slim, me fine. And then Levi mash up Jamaica with Me God, Me King. Jaman, me cool, no stubborn like me, who me walk on the street, no go on for food. Right for the dance, mic on my toe, hip on the table, sip on the stool, black, brown, black, ribs, chest, spine, black. You know what I mean? He, you know, and that style, you know, was created in England. Papa San might tell you a different story, you know what I'm saying? But from where we're coming from, Peter King is the originator of that style.
Okay.
And back then, Saxon, the MCs, we all was original. We all had our own individual style. But if somebody in the crew came with something that was amazing, everybody in the crew would write or would use that style and that melody and make their own lyrics, you know what I mean? And that's what made us, you know, excel more than all of the other sound systems, because we had the best MCs, in my opinion. There was other sounds that had some good MCs. Young Lion, they had a brother called Daddy Willie, Mr. Palmer, you know, they weren't on our level. But you also had Unity Sound, you had Demon Rockers and Flinty, two brothers. They're now the Ragga Twins, they do jungle music now. They were good MCs. And then you had a brother called Tenafly. Daddy Freddy came over from Jamaica and he was on Youth Man Promotion, but then he was on all, you know, a lot of the other sounds as well. So there was some good MCs. And in the Midlands, you had Maccabee, you know. There was a sound called Wassifer. And you had Maccabee, Pato Banton, a brother named Mikey Tuff, who's a great bass player, but he's a really good MC as well. I'm just trying to think up north, yeah, mainly Midlands, but yeah, there's some really good, talented MCs, man, but we were original and we made Jamaica start to look at the UK and take us seriously.
Of course. And those were strictly sound systems, right? With MCs, not like crews or now we know crews, and here in Costa Rica usually they have crews, 5-6 DJs, but not DJs as you.
No.
They call it DJ here, but it's this jockey, right? That's Selecta, right?
Selecta, yeah.
So it
no,
was
we were
strictly,
MCs, strictly MCs, because obviously, you know, you have the Selecta, you play the vocal, turn it over, play the instrumental, and then the MCs come in. So for me, it wasn't difficult to be a selector then, you know. If you're a selector for Saxon, you know, he'd play a vocal, and then there'll be 6, 7 MCs waiting to chat on that instrumental. So he could, by the time that's going on, he can be there all day, taking his time because he knows that there's all these MCs waiting to go on the instrumental. So to me, it wasn't difficult to be a selector back then.
But only the MCs inside the sound system, right?
Yeah.
No outside.
Yes.
No
Yeah, mainly the ones them. After a while, at the beginning, it was a bit more open.
Like open mic.
But obviously, the guys them that own the sound, they want the best people on their sound, because if you got because the cassette them are being recorded, so they want to make sure that there's good things on the cassette, so that people will tape the cassette and spread it. And that's what happened with Saxon. You know, the cassettes them circled to Jamaica, New York, and people started to want to book the sound to go there and play.
Good. I have 2 big shows in Jamaica in the 80s, also Sting and then Reggae Sunsplash.
Yes, yeah.
Your experience there on those days, because obviously it's different talking about Sting these days anymore, but your experience there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 1986 that I did Sting. And Policeman Leng, he came to the UK to find me, you know what I mean? So he came to England and said, Tippa, you have to come to Jamaica, Sting, and why you there for performance? So I was like, okay. No problem. So I went to Jamaica with my sister, and you know, to me, it was just an amazing experience, because obviously I had to go over there, rehearse with the Sagittarius band, which I used to admire, because there's a bass player called Derek Barnett, who's like, you know, for me, one of the best bass players ever. And so for me to work with those guys was special. And yeah, I did well on the show, you know. The people them really appreciate me. And what was nice for me is when I went over there to do Sting and I came off at the airport, there was a picture of me in the airport, and I couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? You know? So, you know, for me, that was like, wow, I'm leaving my mark in Jamaica. They've taken it down now, but back then, you know,
they can't take it down. No
that was special for me to come off at the plane and walking through the airport and see a picture of myself. You know what I mean? But they appreciated me, man. The people them, the band, working with the Sagittarius band was amazing. And Leng, he looked after me. You know, looked after me and my sister. And the show was good. And the same with Reggae Sunsplash. You know what I mean? I did Reggae Sunsplash with Pato Banton. Pato Banton, me and Pato, we had the same manager. In fact, the guy this is a new book that's coming out, you know? And it's a new book that's coming out, and it's written by a friend of mine called Brantley Haynes. And Brantley Haynes used to manage me and Pato Banton back in the day. So because we had the same manager, I brought Pato with me to do Reggae Sunsplash, you know what I mean? And he was a bit more popular than me in America. So I used to go with him to the States, and then certain places like Jamaica and wherever where I was a bit more popular, I used to bring him. So we used to basically help each other, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it was an amazing experience, bro. Cause remember, I'm a little guy from England, you know what I mean? And you know, it was probably, I think, the second time that I actually went to Jamaica, and it was the first time that I was seeing my father, from him leaving from England to go to Jamaica, you know what I mean? And then I was phoning him. Because remember, when he left, I wasn't a star. You know what I mean? I wasn't a big artist. You know what I mean? I was just 16. I didn't even make my first record yet when he left to go to Jamaica. Then the next time he's seen me, I'm at Reggae Sunsplash. You know what I'm saying? In front of 20,000 people. So he's like, he's looking up and he can't believe that's his son, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't like, he's a countryman. He's from the country, so he didn't really like the town. You know what I mean? So I phoned him and said, yo, Dad, you have to come at town, you know. He said, what? You don't want to come at town, you know I'm gonna like town. But he came. He came and he checked the show and he was like amazed, you know what I mean? Because remember, he didn't see me. He saw me when I was little. And now I'm on stage in front of 20,000 people, so it's a blessing.
Enough with the book, get them like, right?
It's like that. It's like that with my mom, you know, because when I left school, I didn't really have much qualifications. You know what I mean? And my mom used to always say to me, what are you in the room writing those lyrics? You know, you need to focus on your books and this and that. And I said to her, Mom, one day you're gonna see why I was writing those lyrics, man. You know what I mean? And then the tune came out, boom. You know? I said, Mom, number one, you know. She's like, yeah? I said, okay. That's why you was writing those lyrics. I said, yes, Mom. And I go, boom. There's it, because like when you write, your tune gets played on radio, there's the Performing Rights Society, you know, so you have PRS, and then you have PPL, you have MCPS, you have all these different music organizations. So one morning I got up and I went to the door and saw this envelope. So I opened the envelope and I saw PRS. So I looked at it and I think, what's this? And it was a check. You know?
The first one?
Yeah, the first big one. So I just gave it to my mom. So I goes, there you go, Mom. And she's like, where you get this from? You know what I mean? I said, it's those, you know those lyrics that he was telling me about or asking me why I was writing, bro. You can go and look for the house now, you know what I mean? So I just gave it to her and she went to look for a place for us. So, you know, those things, you know, makes you feel good when you can do that for your mom, you know what I'm saying?
That's good, that's good. I have a quite later story with my father, with the music and everything, and he said, no, stop music. Go like this, go that, and everything. Yeah. And after he got, now he's my accountant. Okay. So on the first paycheck, he says, okay, you're doing good. Keep it in that way.
Well, that's it. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to follow what's in here. You know what I mean? For me, music is just, I love it, man. There's just nothing else. I couldn't survive without music. I love music, Adrian. I have to do music. So even no matter what I'm going through, I've been through some traumatic things. Lost members of my family, my mom, my dad, my sister. There's only two, me and my big sister left now. So out of the 5 of us, there's only 2 of us left. So you go through some things and it's just music that helps me go through whatever I'm going through. I write about it, I write songs about it, and that helps me through the stress, or, you know, whether you're going through divorce, you break up with your girlfriend, you know, or you, whatever, you know, just make music and everything kind of comes back, falls in line.
And since we're the listeners, we have a song for every moment.
Yeah,
for a sad moment, for a happy moment,
that's
for
right.
a party moment.
That's right. Yeah, you know, you have to, you know, I use that as my source of release, you know, to help me through the heartache and the pain. But then when I'm happy, you know, it makes me even more happy. You know what I'm saying? And then opportunities seem to come, you know. It's just like now I'm here, you know. I was probably going through something, and I said, you know what, Costa Rica, Prof told me about Costa Rica. Let me come, and now is the right time for me to come.
Yeah.
And I just come. And since I've been here, I've been doing interviews. You know, I did about 3 or 4 radio interviews. Now I'm doing another YouTube interview. I did another interview on another station, Urbano TV, and you know, and I didn't even know they had a TV station. So for me, it's just making now the people them in Costa Rica say, oh, because even at the roots, the guy, he didn't know who I was. You know what I mean? I have 40 years of music, and the guy owns a reggae club, and he didn't know who I was. So you're never too big, you know what I mean? Because there's always somebody that don't know who you are. So you have to go out there and put yourself out there so that the people then can see you. And because out of sight, out of mind. So sometimes you put yourself there and people say, oh, because if I come here with my band, now that I come here, I know what kind of show I would do. You know what I mean? I know the exact show what I do. So sometimes you have to go and experience things and throw yourself in.
Very professional
from
your part.
Yeah, you have to throw yourself in at the deep end. You have to swim. You know, you have to dive in and swim. You know what I mean? So no show or no, I'm always just calm. No show don't faze me, whether it's 50 people or 10,000 people. You just have to go in and deliver. You know what I mean?
Good. A couple of questions more, so I don't keep you here.
No,
don't
man,
worry,
I'm
okay?
good, man. I'm on holiday. I'm on holiday, so I'm only gonna go there and pack my case and then get ready to fly to the Caribbean down south. So, yeah, but yeah, no problem, man.
I have 2 different experiences.
Yes.
From your history, way too different.
Yeah.
But I want to know everything about them. I have one experience with Black Eyed Peas.
Yes.
And I have one experience that I had the fortune of see that show, that it was the one with the orchestra and, with Rodigan.
Okay. Yes.
So I think those 2 experiences for me, the actual, right? Because
Yeah.
the history is way back, but the actual history. So you can tell us what happened with Black Eyed Peas, how you get there, and then we can talk about Rodigan and the orchestra.
I was in California doing shows on the West Coast of America. I think I was in Santa Barbara, LA, Orange County, and San Diego. The last show was in San Diego in a place called Solana Beach. Solana Beach is just north of San Diego and just before Orange County. And there's a venue there called the Belly Up, which most of, people like Steel Pulse, Pato, and all these bands, everybody in that area, if they're touring, they'll play at the Belly Up.
Okay.
So I was doing a little show there, maybe about 200 people, $7 to get in. I went there with my friend. I was sleeping on his couch. He said, "Tip, come. I don't want you to stay in a hotel. Come and stay at my house." But anyway, I went to the dance, went with the band, and doing the show. And then this girl called me that I know. I've done some kind of work with her before. She goes, "Oh, Tippa, Will I Am is looking for an MC to go on this tune, and we hear that you're here." So I said, "Yeah, man, I'll come and I'll check it out." But I think how he heard about me, if I remember right, I was doing a tune for this guy called Motivate. And he's like a DJ, and I think he used to DJ with Will I Am. And I was doing this tune called Every Day. It's about weed, I have to smoke up the chronic every day, you know what I mean? And Will I Am must have heard the tune, or he must have passed the studio, because Motivate had a studio in the same building as Will I Am. So there was a building, and there's like 3-4 different studios within the building.
Okay.
So, because I kind of jumped a bit forward. But yeah, and so I was voicing the tune, and Will.i.am must have walked by and say, yo, who's that guy? Who's in there? You know what I mean? So the brother goes, that's Tippa Irie, man, from England. You don't know him? And he's like, no, man, but he sounds amazing. So when I came out of the boot now, he was in the studio. And he goes, one day I'm gonna have something for you, man. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I just left it at that. And then when I was doing the show in San Diego, I got the call. You know what I mean? He phoned me, said, oh, I think they just got a deal. They just got signed to Interscope. And he called me. So I was staying with my friend in a place called Laverne, which is like east of Los Angeles. And I said, Dave, we gotta go and see this Black Eyed Peas group. You know what I mean? So Dave took me there and I met him, and then he played me the tune, you know? So when I feel something, the lyrics then come quick. Because it's like when people send me beats, if I have to really, really struggle, unless they're paying me a lot of money, then I'll go through the struggle. You know what I mean? But if it's just we're gonna try a thing, and I don't feel the beat, I just normally say, brethren, this one's not for me. You know what I mean? But if I feel the tune, the beat, the lyrics, them just, I don't know where it comes from, but they just come very quickly. But that tune, I said to myself, I'm gonna take it back to where I was staying. So I just took the idea. So it just basically what they do, they give you the rhythm, they put down their vocals, and then they say fill all of the gaps. Okay, and that's basically what he done. So I just was, at that time, Elephant Man was doing well. I think with Pon de River, Pon de Bank, and all those tunes. Sean Paul was in the charts. Wayne Wonder was doing well with Letting Go. So all these tunes were kind of like in my mind. So I just went, cutie, cutie, make sure you move your booty, shake that thing in the city of sin, and hey, shawty, know you want shawty is an American thing. You know what I mean? So I just tried to use some American terms. Hey, shawty, I know you wanna party, where your body look at me. And I said, that's the hook. You know what I mean? And then I just wrote the rest of the lyrics, and then I phoned him, and he picked up the phone straight away when I called him, because you know in America, when you phone them, they don't fucking pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? But he picked up the phone straight away. I said, Will, I'm ready. He go, you got it? I said, yeah. So then boom, I just went down there. The next day, I just went in the booth, half an hour, done. You know what I mean? And then he's like he's a geek. You know what I mean? Very gifted musician, very gifted on the Pro Tools. So he just mixed it to Tip, what do you think? I said, good. Sounds good to me. You know what I mean? And he just said, right, I'm gonna give you this amount of money. I said, okay. I'm gonna give you this amount of publishing. I said, okay. And that was it. And I just forgot about it. Because at that time, they weren't big. You know, they were like popular on the underground hip hop scene in Los Angeles, and maybe, you know, a bit further afield, but they wasn't huge. They just got their deal. And then one day I was at home and I heard dum, 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 dum. Dum, dum,
I know
dum.
that. This is it.
Dum, dum, dum. Dum, 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 dum. And I heard Where Is the Love? And I went backside. And then that's Will.i.am, that's Will then. And then bro, tune went to #1.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Again.
And then I was like, okay, looks like something I'm gonna go on for them mania. And then boom, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And then I said to myself, boy, hey mama, must be the next single. It's gotta be the next single, Tip. And boom, next single. Hey Mama. So then I got a phone call, Tippa, we want you to come to Hollywood. So I'm like, I think I can do that. You know what I mean? And next thing you know, I was on the plane, went out there, done the video with them. You know, you go through a lot because it's like, you know, it's just little me going to Hollywood, link with all of these people, and they've got their business manager, production manager, this, that, whatever. And I just had my little manager. I think I was working with, God rest his soul, with a friend of mine called Basil at the time that was helping me and whatever. But the tune just went out and it was top 10 all over the world. So, you know, when you get a hit tune, everybody becomes your friend again. You know, people that come out of the woodwork that, you know, write you off, you know. And I like that because throughout my career, there's always people that want to write you off and think, oh, you never get another hit tune. You know what I mean? And then, boom, you just knock them in their face. You know what I mean? And that was kind of what happened with Hey Mama, you know? And it just came out and it just blew up, man. And it just kept me in work for maybe like 3-4 years. You know what I mean? So I was grateful. And then the orchestra thing is an interesting thing because I think Rodigan was celebrating 40 years correct, in the music industry. So basically, it was taking you on a journey through reggae music. So they start from, you know, I guess from ska, bluebeat, rocksteady, bit McLean, and then reggae, dancehall, a bit of jungle and whatever. So I was doing the dancehall part of it, where I would do Heads Eye from Mr. Vegas, Zim Zimmer, Beanie Man, and then I'll do one of my songs and Murder She Wrote. And basically they just asked me to do that part of the show. And I stepped in and just delivered, you know. People them loved it. I just tore down the place every night. And I did so well that they took me on tour, you know. And so we did quite a few festivals, Rotterdam.
Saw you there.
Yeah. Oh, you was there?
I was.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
when the show finished, my legs start shaking because hearing we have a party concept that we go through the dancehall history.
Yeah.
So we start the 80s, then the 90s and everything. So when I saw that, I thought I'm on the right track because that's the way. People, it's on the party, it's okay with the party, but they should be learning also.
That's right, they should learn the history.
To put like gears on the
100% right. I wish that some of the selectors in Europe would do the same thing, because it's still like paying homage to what happened before. You know what I'm saying? You're paying homage to the 80s, because the 90s for me, dancehall was like, yo, that's one of my favorite times in dancehall. But obviously the 80s is more warm to my heart because it's more of my era. Sure. But the 90s was a great, you know, especially those Madhouse productions with Dave Kelly, you know, and all of those tunes, you know. So yeah, man, I love the music and I appreciate it, you know what I mean? And you know, so anyway, but yeah, that orchestra thing was cool. You know, I really enjoyed that. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm always grateful for every opportunity that I get. Sometimes things happen to throw spanners in the works and relationships break down. But for me, I'm always grateful for the opportunities because, you know, I try to remain humble as possible. You know what I mean? But like anybody, if somebody takes you know, you feel somebody's trying to take advantage of you or take liberties, you have to stand up for yourself. Sure. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good opportunity for me, and I dealt with it.
And I really appreciate your humbleness. I saw you yesterday, and actually, Edicion told me that on Friday was the same vibe with you. So it's something important that usually veterans like you I like that.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yeah.
the new ones are different.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
different thing, but
Yeah.
usually better.
Well, it's the hype, you know. Sometimes they get caught up. It's a different, I guess it's different times, you know. And I guess with age comes wisdom. Sometimes, but you know, but with age comes wisdom. And to me, people, man, you know, the only time I fall out with somebody is if they want to disrespect me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you disrespect me, I'm gonna stand up for myself. And that's all. That's all you can do is just stand up for yourself. You treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I mean? So if you respect me, I respect me. If you don't like me, I stay to the east, you stay to the west. And that's it. You know what I mean? We just keep it simple. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, people don't like you for whatever reason, but sometimes no matter what you do, somebody's not gonna like you. Even if you're good and you do good. And if you're performing and you're doing a show and you have 300 people, 10,000 people, 50,000 people, if I'm performing on the stage and everybody over here is smiling, that's where I'm gonna be.
Right.
If you go over there and this one has school fears, I don't want to see him. You know what I mean? Because he's gonna put me in that frame of mind. I want to be with the happy people.
Yeah.
So I work with the happy people because they are appreciating what I'm doing. This man over here say my screw, you stay over there, bro. I'm gonna work with these people because these people are happy, and then you move.
Nice.
So I guess it's just experience, you know, it's experience and knowing how to deal with the audience, deal with people that don't know you. It's difficult to go into a place and perform and the people them don't know your songs. But so when you can go in and win them over and they don't know your music, you know, that's a talented person for me. You know, I mean, it's easy when you can turn up and go like that and everybody know your tunes. You know what I mean? It's easy. You know, it's easier to perform. You know what I mean? But when nobody don't know your music, you have to take it to them and give it to them and be confident. You know what I mean? I just try to be cool, calm. But then when it comes to the stage, you have to take it to them. You have to kick them
Energy.
in there. Yeah.
You're good with that. You're good with that.
Thank you, man.
Just to close this, we check a little bit of your history.
Yes.
We need like 10 hours more of this just to explain all the Tippa Irie history. But what's going on right now in 2024 with Tippa Irie?
Yeah, tippairie.com. Go to my website, tippairie.com. Everything is there. For this year, I have 2 shows to do. One is in London, one is in Prague. Yeah. So when I get back, I'm on holiday right now. When I get back, I've got a show in London and I fly to Prague to do a show with Mongo's Hi-Fi.
Nice.
Mongo's Hi-Fi is a sound system from Scotland. So I have 2 shows with them. And then it's Christmas with my son. And then on the 2nd, I go to Jamaica for 4 weeks. I'm doing an album with King Jammies. Yeah. Yeah. So I've done most of the lyrics. Some of them he has. The rest of them, we're doing the business right now. So obviously it's music, business. So you have to do the music, but you have to take care of the business. So we're in the business stage right now. So hopefully, everything should be cool on that front because, you know, it's a dream for me to work with the King Jammies. You know what I mean? So everything's gonna be cool. And then I'm gonna go there, mix the album, hopefully in January, hopefully February. If my manager tells me that there's nothing really worth going home for, I will stay there. Because I have a house in Ochi, you know? Okay. So I got my place there, I just chill, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna do that. That's the immediate thing that I've got coming. And I have a book I should have brought my book.
My next question. Yes.
With me. I don't know how I didn't do that, but I forgot. I think I was just tired. But anyway, my book is out, people. It's called Stick to My Roots. And it's an autobiography of my life, my career, my journey, the history of my parents leaving from the UK, from Jamaica to come to England. There's a chapter about Saxon Sound System, which talks about the history of Saxon Sound System and all the entertainers. There's a chapter about Hello Darling, the tune that changed my life, made me become a household name in reggae. There's a chapter about Lovers Rock. Lovers Rock music is very British, is a form of reggae that was created in Britain. Lovers Rock, where man dance with woman, locked down, tight, all night. And Janet Kay, Carol Thompson, Peter Honningale, Maxi Priest, Barry Boom, Paul Robinson, Vivian Jones, administrators, Mike Anthony, Winsome. I'm calling all these names, yeah? Paulette Taja, Peter Spence, all these people are so talented and they don't get the exposure that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? There's so much talent in the UK that people need to know about. You know what I mean? And that's part of my job, which is to travel and push my music, but also inform people about the people and brothers and sisters that are in the UK that are really talented, and maybe the people of Costa Rica or whatever. Well, the owner of the Roots, he didn't know who Tippa Irie was. So if you don't know me, you ain't gonna know them. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. So what my job is, one of my job is to inform the world about the music, what's going on in the UK.
And this is why we have this kind of interviews, so everybody knows about it, everybody knows the history.
Yeah, but my book is out. Stick to My Roots is out now. If you go to my website, you can check out all of my albums. Yeah, you can check out the news, update, history, videos, anything that to do with Tippa Irie, it's there.
Good. Well, man, thank you very much for your time.
Much respect, sir.
Thank you for your history.
I'm glad I came, man. I'm glad I came. It was a good interview.
Have done and what you're going to do, because I know you have a lot of history to do. Yet you open a lot of doors for everybody. You set a style for everybody, and you put your works on reggae music.
Thank you,
and really appreciate that. We really appreciate. So just to close, a quick big up for the Costa Rican Reggae Massive from Tippa Irie.
Yeah. Now me say cook out the people, cause say that to me. Nobody else about the Tippa Irie. From dancer town, black up dancer country, for all of the people in the community. Now this a Tippa Irie and me extra clever. Me have to big up the people of Costa Rica. Well, say me are the UK Godfather. Them call me Daddy Tippa. Now me say sim, and me say blam, blam, blam. You don't know already me a foundation. Say Mr. Irie is a living legend. And I just saw me stay a summit Costa Rica. Who they? Nobody else but the unique Tippa. Costa Rica. Who they? Nobody else but the unique Tippa. Bless.
Boom, esto fue Pressure Drop acá desde Digari Music Spot. Ya saben, la casa de los artistas nacionales que representa Pressure Drop para Docta, Rythm, Selecta y todo el Calvi Docta Movement. Esto fue Tippa Irie directamente desde UK para todos ustedes. Nos vemos en la próxima. Big up.
Boom.
Ajá. Thank you, man.
No problem.
No
problem, my brother.
I'm tired.
No, I'm cool, man. I had some sleep.